Habit is like a combination of consistency and diligence. So like whatever you feed this habit is, that's what it becomes.
Oh God, you're amazing. Sometimes
Do I really want to keep on feeding this bad habit? Do I really want to continue this way? And if your answer is no, hi besties, welcome to my channel. A little story time to start this talk. I had this like very close friend, and anytime we're about going home before we start studying, because she was my study partner. Girl, if you're watching this, you're the best. So we will like write our plans in this little exercise book and we'll like talk about it to each other, how we're going to achieve it and all this kind of stuff. And thinking about it now, we're kind of delusional at that age. But when we went home, we'll think out the things we did and cross out the things we couldn't do. This was something we did consistently every single term. Unknowingly, we're like creating the habit of planning and manifestation. And now I can't imagine going into a semester without like planning my goal. What I'm just trying to say here is that habits are repetitive behaviors. There are things you have to like consistently do in order to make them stick. Habit is like a combination of consistency and diligence. So like whatever you feed this habit is, that's what it becomes. Let's imagine our habit is a pet. Imagine you feed that pet rotten food, which in this case is our bad habits. What's going to happen to a pet? The pet is obviously going to like feel sick and will not feel good about, and you feel like you can't get out of that situation because you're constantly feeding the pet with that rotten food. That's how bad habits makes us feel. It makes us feel like we can't get out of the situation, we can't get out of the bad habits. It makes us feel sick of ourselves. Identifying those habits, like identifying those bad habits. A solution cannot be given to somebody if they don't know they have a problem. Time alone, ask yourself questions like, what are those things you do that you don't feel good about? Or what are those things that people complain about you, like they don't generally like that about you? So in my own case, it's procrastination. Sincerely, I'm not proud of it. But like, I already know that is my own bad habit. I already know that is something I need to change about myself. And by identifying that problem, it's made easier to like solve it or to deal with the issue. Just generally take an inventory of all your habits. You can like put it in the table, your bad habits and your good habits. Ask yourself questions like, are you a negative person? Are you negative in your conversations? Are you negative in your tone? Do you self-sabotage? Do you constantly worry about things happening in your life? Just ask yourself questions. Try to like know yourself and know those bad habits, because identifying those habits will help you a lot in the next step. Knowing what's holding you back from making that change. Or may I say your limiting beliefs. It will be like, I want to do a work, I want to be productive. And all these thoughts like, or limiting beliefs like, oh, I have enough time, I can do this later, or I can do this tomorrow, or what's the need of doing this? All those kind of thoughts will just come into my head. So by identifying that these are the things that are limiting me from making that change, it makes it easier for me to like make the change. Identify what is stopping you.
3, 2, 1.
Consciously make a decision to change. You have to know that you want to change. You have to make a decision that you're ready to change. You're ready to put in the effort, because creating good habits sacrifice hard work and pain. There's going to be a lot of pain. Unlike bad habits are easier. You have to make a decision within yourself that you're going to change. You're going to be prepared to do anything it takes to change. Because if you don't do this, it's going to 100% affect your future. Because like, who wants to work with someone that's pessimistic? Or who wants to work with someone that they can't trust with their work or getting work done on time? So you can make this decision by asking yourself, do I really want to keep on feeding this bad habit? Do I really want to continue this way? And if your answer is no, you're on the right track. But I just want to like remind you that the journey to creating good habits is not easy. Like, it's really hard. If you're making this decision, make this decision in a way that you know you're not going to give up easily when the journey starts becoming hard. Replace your bad habits with good habits. You don't necessarily have to break, you just have to like replace those good habits. Sincerely, breaking a habit is like one of the hardest things, especially if you have been doing this thing consistent. It's going to really take time. So let's take an instance where you have this Adam is a fictional character, complained about his life, complained about his work, complained about school. Like, was he down? I don't even know. He was just like pessimistic person, and everything in his life was obviously going in the negative direction because he was always complaining. So he decided to sit down and analyze his life and ask himself, what is wrong? Where is he going wrong? And when he did this, he noticed that that habit of complaining was affecting his life in a negative way. So he decided to like change. So anytime he thought came into his head, he would try to like fight the urge and replace it with like being grateful, like asking himself what is he grateful for his life, or saying 3 grateful things. And by doing this gave his life like a whole 60 degrees, and it became more positive and seeing good things. So you don't necessarily have to like break the habit. Just use that urge you feel anytime you like want to do that habit and replace it with like a good habit. For instance, maybe if I want to procrastinate and I feel like procrastination is coming up, I can like stand up and take a walk. If you constantly like stress eat, when you feel like stress eating, you can decide to like take a walk, do something like that will motivate. So having a no exception policy will keep you in check, because no matter how you feel like doing that bad habit, you know that you have no right to do that bad habit. The scripture said that there's no habit that cannot be conquered. Track your progress. But it's the truth, because track your progress helps you see how far you have gone, helps you see where you have reached. And by saying that, it feels like a motivation. If I say, oh, I've done this for like 1 month, I'm not going to go back to that bad habit because I don't want to start the cycle all over again. I normally track my progress using a planner, but if you're a digital guide or digital girl, you can like use apps like Notion, Evernote, Calendar. I just want to remind you that even though you feel there's always going to be a way to like start all over, never give up on yourself.
Oh God, you're amazing. Sometimes I
Like the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
no other replacement.
You give me a purpose to my life.
So I'll just be quiet.